In this video, we're going to be taking a look at pages Excel 60 and 61, which is entitled Inserting and Deleting Rows and Columns. As you modify a worksheet, you may find it necessary to insert or delete rows and columns to keep your worksheet current. For example, you might need to insert rows to accommodate new inventory products or to remove a column of yearly totals that is no longer necessary. When you insert a row, the contents of the worksheet shifts down from the newly inserted row. When you insert a new column, the contents of the worksheet shift to the right from the point of the new column. Excel inserts rows above the cell pointer and inserts columns to the left of the cell pointer. And if you want to insert multiple rows, you would just drag across row headings to select the same number of rows as you want to insert. So now let's take a look at step 1 on page Excel 60. And step 1 tells us that we want to, first of all, right-click cell A32. So we click on cell A32 and then we right-click. This brings up our shortcut menu, and then it tells us we want to click Insert on the shortcut menu. Now the Insert dialog box should open up. Now you can choose to insert a column or row, or you can shift the data in the cells in the active column right or in the active column down. So that is where you would either shift the cells to the right or down, or this is where we can insert a row or a column. Now, an additional row between the last row of data and the totals will visually separate the totals, because this looks a little bit kind of real tight right here, so we want to insert a row right here. And that is, to insert the row, we're going to click on Entire Row. And this is we click the Entire Row option button. This is what this is an option button. When we click on OK, notice that we now have inserted a whole row right here, and we've shifted the contents down to the row below it. And of course, a blank row appears between the billboard data and the totals. And the formulas result in cell E33 has not changed. Now you'll notice that over here we got a little brush over here, and this is the Insert Options button, and that's going to appear beside cell A33. And when you point to the button, it displays a list arrow, now which you can click and choose from the following options. So if we click on that, we can take a look. We can either format it the same as above, the same as below, or we can clear the formatting altogether. And right now we want the default setting, which this is the default setting, is same as above. So we just want to make sure that is selected. In step 3, it tells us that we want to click on the row 27 heading. Now, of course, remember that these are our column headings up here with the letters. Our row headings are with the numbers. That is on the left-hand side going up and down on here. So when we click on row 27, that is a way to select all of row 27. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click the delete button in the cells group. Now, so don't hit your delete key on your keyboard. You want to go up here to the cells group, and we're going to click on the delete button. Now don't click on the bottom part with the arrow. You want to click on the very top part, which is delete cells. And when we click on this, notice that the entire row has been deleted. And so Excel has now deleted row 27, and all the rows below this is going to shift up one row. Now you must use the delete button or the delete command on the shortcut menu to delete a row or column. Now the reason I told you not to press the delete key on the keyboard is that only removes the contents of the cells, not the cells themselves on there. And of course, if you inadvertently click on the list arrow, so remember I told you as well on here, if you inadvertently click this down here, all you have to do is that you want to click on delete sheet rows in the menu that opens up. So if we could have clicked on this instead of just the top delete button, but when you're wanting to delete an entire row, you select the row heading and then you click on the top part up here. Now you'll notice that the 27 has not disappeared. The row 27 is still there. What happens is that Excel deletes out that entire row, and so all the contents from 28 has moved up, and everything else has moved up one row on there. So it doesn't completely get rid of the row heading 27. All it does is to delete the row itself and make row 28, the new 27. And everything, and all the numbering changes for all the other rows. And of course, notice our calculations has been changed a little bit because we deleted out some of our information, but they're still accurate. Now next what we're going to do is we're going to click on the column J heading, and this is step 5. So if we go here and we click on the column J heading, notice that it is going to select all of column J. And of course the percentage information is calculated elsewhere and is no longer necessary in this worksheet. So to do this, we're going to click on the delete button again, and that's the top one on there, and that's going to remove out the percentages on there. So Excel has now deleted column J, and the remaining columns to the right has now shifted over one column to the left. Now go ahead and save your work. Now there is a way that you can go through and hide and unhide columns and rows, because sometimes you don't want the data in a column or row to be visible. But however, you don't want to delete it. Now you can hide the row or column on there, and to hide a selected column on there, you can click on the Format button in the Cells group. So if we have the Cells group here, we can click on the Format button, and then we can point to the Hide and Unhide on here, and then we can hide either the row or the column. So in this case, I'm going to hide the column. And you'll notice that the column has been hidden. Now look at the numbering as well. It hasn't deleted it because we still have H, I, and then J is hidden, but K is still there. So that is just hiding it. The information's not deleted, it's just been hidden on there. Now, of course, a hidden column is indicated by a dark black vertical line in its original position. So we can see that here's that dark black line there. And of course the black line disappears when you click elsewhere in the worksheet. So if I click somewhere else, there it goes. Now if we want to display a hidden column on there by selecting the columns on either side of the hidden column. So if I go to I and K, because we know J is in the middle of that, we can go back into our Format, go into Hide and Unhide, and then we can unhide our column, and there it is. So it's not been deleted, it's just been hidden from view. Now of course you can also in Excel add comments to certain cells, and much of your work in Excel may be in collaboration with others, and you share the same worksheet. You can share ideas with other worksheet users by adding comments within the selected cells. To include a comment into a worksheet, you first of all need to click the cell where you want to place the comment. And let's say for an example we want to just choose, down here at the bottom we'll just say podcast on there. And then once we have that selected, we want to go to our Review tab. And on there we can click on New Comment, and this is where you can make a comment. Now this has my computer name on it, but you can program that to select as your name on there as well. And you can type in your comment. I can put in "good job." When I click away from it, notice that it appears that the comment is deleted, but I still have this little red mark in the upper right hand side of my cell. And when I point to it, notice it says "good job" on there. So this means that I've added a comment. So the next user that takes a look at this can take a look at that and see, oh, well, there's a comment there. Oh, there's my comment. Okay, and that concludes the video at this point in time on there. So you are now ready to move on to the next video, in which we're going to be discussing applying colors, patterns, and borders.